Plus, there's a controversy over a Colorado second grader who dressed up as the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. for a school project. Sean King put on black face paint and a mustache, and the principal told him to wash it off.
When other students are offended by something, it's really the principal's role to make sure that the educational environment is safe for all the students.
They thought it was inappropriate and it would be disrespectful to black people. But I say that it's not. I like black people. I don't want to be mean to them. It's just a costume. I don't want to insult anybody.
Sean's parents thought the school went too far, so they took him home. The local NAACP president said the costume was an unfortunate throwback to a time when face paint was a way to demean African Americans. She adds, though, that she doesn't think that was the boy's intention. And, you know, we know a father who has been in a very similar situation when his own child wanted to dress up to portray Muhammad Ali for a school project honoring Americans. Bert Weiss is here to share the controversy that came into his family and the happy ending, I should say, that you never expected, which I can't wait to get to. But I know that you got this on your show, The Bert Show on Q100. And what was the main, let's take it in pieces, what was the main complaint from people about your son dressing up as Muhammad Ali?
I think that the same thing that we're hearing with this Colorado boy also is that it would have been offensive. It's too close to blackface, and it reminds us too much of the minstrels back 100-something years ago. And any time you put any kind of paint on a white person's face, it could be offensive. So that was the main argument.
And but were there other people? Because I know there was a huge debate. What were people on the other side of the fence saying?
Yeah, well,
because we're talking about kids.
Well, that was part of it. Is that you know, my son just wanted to honor Muhammad Ali. I think when you're talking about blackface and minstrels, you're talking about demeaning and making fun of. And my 9-year-old just wanted to honor this man, and we all decided on this other side that to honor him, painting your face brown was a way to do that, because Muhammad Ali fought for his skin color. So I think we felt like if he, as a 9-year-old, left that classroom and his classmates didn't know that Muhammad Ali was black, that he wasn't really honoring the history of Muhammad Ali.
Oh, that's a good point. And it came down, as I understand it, on your show, to intent versus impact.
It really did, yeah. And that was a major discussion for us. And we decided as a family, and my wife also, is that we can't really control the impact of others, but we know what our intent was. And the intent of my 9-year-old and my family was pure. You know, we did the education together on blackface and minstrels, and our intent was to simply honor a man that had a huge part in civil rights. Muhammad Ali isn't a great American because he was a great boxer. He stood up for what he believed in. He didn't feel like he was being treated well as a black man. That's a major part of his history, and to not honor that would have been disingenuous.
You brought up such a good point, because I make the point here that I will never forget being on set back in the day, and we were doing a story in the presidential campaign, and we did very generic stories on Kerry being at one place campaigning and Bush being at another place, and we got 2 emails. One said, "Who are you guys sleeping with at the White House to get Bush back in the office?" And the other one said, "You must be paying Kerry a lot of money, or he must be paying you a lot of money." And it was at that point that I realized, wow, we can control how we present it, but we can't control how it's perceived.
Right. Our intent was pure. I cannot control the impact of other people, but I know within our world, we felt like, look, 50 years ago, it would have been unheard of for a white boy to suggest, to look up to a black man and want to honor him. 50 years ago in Muhammad Ali's time, that was unheard of. So for him to do that, I looked at it and I said, this is a real step, this is a real progressive step in race relations for our worlds, for my family.
So what is the happy ending?
Well, the happy ending is that it's a very long story, but Muhammad Ali found out about the controversy. He and his wife were both very upset that it was controversial at all. And I have a friend, Scott Spellman, that set up a meeting between my son and Muhammad Ali, and my son got to read his reports of Muhammad Ali.
Oh, my goodness.
We spent half an hour with Muhammad Ali in a suite.
Okay.
And it was
Was he nervous? What did
My
he
son
do?
was very nervous. I was really kind of surprised. We did so much research on the man that he really knew what he was all about.
This is what we're seeing now, just so you know. This is his son.
He's reading to Muhammad Ali right there, and I don't know if you're going to stay with this long enough, but at the very end, Muhammad Ali reaches out to him and gives my 9-year-old a hug in such a loving way. He's totally absorbed in the moment. Totally.
Look at him. Yeah, he is just entranced with your son.
It was the most most touching 30 minutes of my life to watch that.
Now, what do you think, as a father, obviously, I understand the impact on you. What do you think the impact was on your son and on other students when he was able to tell his fellow students, oh my gosh, look what I got to do?
Well, the impact on my son had a couple of different levels, because on a very small level, I kind of felt like the lesson was, look, Muhammad Ali had to fight for something that he really believed in. A lot of people told him he was wrong, but he did it anyway. And in this case, with my 9-year-old, a lot of people were telling him that he was wrong, but he had to kind of fight and say, I'm going to do what I think is right. So there was that part of it. And there was also the part that he got to, I really believe, in his own way, kind of help race relations in our own little world. And he understands that. You know, my son doesn't see black and white. He just wanted to honor this man that he thought was a great hero.
I know. I've got an 8, 6, and 2-year-old. They don't either. They don't see that. They just see kids.
Yeah.
They just see people. Bert Weiss, thank you so much. Bert Weiss from the Bert Show on Q100, syndicated, nationally syndicated. It's an awesome show.
Thank you.
I'm just saying.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Always. Thank you so much.